key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those two issues are extremely important.
And welcome to my video on CBDC, also known as Central Bank Digital Currency. In this video, we'll be discussing why CBDC is a bad idea and why we should be worried about its implications. CBDC is a proposed digital currency issued and backed by a central bank, which has been gaining momentum as an alternative to physical currency. But what are the implications of this digital currency? Is it really a good idea? Let's explore. Back in the day, I used to have a piggy bank where I would collect all my pocket change. It was my way of saving up for something special, like a new video game or a bike. However, one day, my little brother broke my piggy bank and stole all my money. I was devastated. That's the problem with CBDCs. They are vulnerable to cyber attacks, just like my piggy bank was vulnerable to my little brother. CBDCs are essentially digital versions of traditional currencies, created and backed by the central bank of a country. The idea is to use blockchain technology to make transactions faster, cheaper, and more secure. However, the reality is that CBDCs are not as secure as they are made out to be. In fact, they are even more vulnerable to cyber attacks than traditional currencies. Imagine if hackers were able to hack into the central bank system and steal all the digital currency. That would be a disaster. CBDCs have the potential to give governments more control over people's financial lives. With CBDCs, governments would be able to track every single transaction made by their citizens. This could lead to a loss of privacy and even greater government control over people's lives. CBDC is like money that exists only on the internet. It would be issued and controlled by a central bank, instead of being printed on paper. The idea behind CBDC is that it could make transactions faster and easier, and also help central banks control the economy. But there are some things that we should be careful about. Consider this: if we use CBDC, the central bank could see every transaction we make. This could mean that they could control how we use our money, and it could also mean they could take our money away if they wanted to. CBDC could also mean we lose some of our freedom to use our money however we want. The central bank would have control over everything we do with our money, so we wouldn't be able to use it the way we want. Let me break this down further and give you an example. If the government has control over a CBDC, they could keep tabs on what you're buying. What if you like to drink and smoke after work? They could use that information to put a damper on your fun by making it more expensive or more difficult to buy those items. In theory, this may sound altruistic by trying to promote public health. But let's be real, some people just like to smoke and drink, and it's their prerogative. Who's to say the government wouldn't go too far with this control and start infringing on people's rights and freedoms? It's a tricky balance, and we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. There's still a risk that using CBDC could lead to more cyber attacks. All the information about our money would be kept in cyberspace, and that could make it easier for hackers to steal our money. Using CBDC could also make things more expensive. If the central banks decides to create more digital currencies out of thin air to pay for wasteful social spending, it could make everything more expensive, much like the inflation we're experiencing in 2023. In my opinion, we all need to think carefully before adopting CBDCs. It could be bad for our privacy, our freedom, and even our economy. Thanks for watching this video about CBDC. Remember, CBDC is like digital money that's controlled by the government, and it might not be such a good thing. Make sure you keep an eye on it and stay informed about what's going on in the world of finance. If you liked this video, please click the thumbs up button and support my channel by subscribing. What are your thoughts about CBDCs? Please comment below the video.